Okay guys, welcome to section 1.4. Let me get you over on to the book. Okay, I skipped page 67. Actually, I skipped a couple of pages, but those were all reviews. 67 was the starting of the new chapter, the new section. So 1.4 is dealing with the order of operations, which I know I've gone over a bit with you guys in class for the CBM's purposes and for our state test preparations I've been doing. But it is what you're supposed to do first is what is inside the parentheses. So if you have a math problem like above, 5a minus b plus c squared, you are to do the b plus c first. Then you square it, and then you multiply 5 times whatever a is. Then you um, and then you do the minus. It's just in order. Now, when you go from multiply and divide, it's just left to right. Whatever comes first on the multiply and divide, you do first. Whatever comes second, you do second. But you always do multiply and divide before you do add and subtract. And you always do what's inside the parentheses first, then you do what is in, or then you do the exponents. Okay, so it is, write this down. I gotta put my pen down. You do parentheses first, then you do exponents, then you do multiply, divide, add, subtract. And these two are just left to right. Whatever comes first, you do first. So are these. Whatever comes first. You always do your exponents first, and you always do your parentheses. And the way to remember this order is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, so that is the basis of page 67. So next we're going on to the current one that we have up. So it says evaluate 5a, I'm reading this right here, evaluate 5a minus b plus parentheses b plus c in parentheses squared, or to the power of 2. So we're doing a equals 6. So we know that this is 5 times a minus, and they've got it written out over here, but do it yourself just to make sure. 5, and I use the dot for times because we don't want to put an x in because x would be confusing, minus, what's b? B equals 1 plus c. What does c equal? C equals 3, and then we go squared. Right now I'm not using my calculator, but if we wanted to, now that we have this written out as 5a, actually let's change that a to a 6. So you have 5 times 6 minus 1 plus 3 squared. You could put that into your scientific calculator. This calculator is great for doing this. And it does the order of operations for you. I had my math teacher in high school teach me that. So, but as it is now, we could do this problem. So we do, first off, we're going to do is 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3. That's a really bad 3. 1 plus 3, and we get 4. Then we have to square 4. And 4 times 4 is 16, as they have it right there. So now you are going 5 times 6 minus 16. So let's rewrite this. Let's go 5. And they rewrite the 5 times 6 using the parentheses. So we go 5 times 6, which still means the times. 5 times 6 minus 16. Now, you go 5 times 6 is 30. So you end up saying 30 minus 16. And that is, we go 10 minus 6 is 4. Converted to a 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. 14. And that is the same answer that they had. Now, when you get into math this high, a lot of people are going to use a calculator, okay? And I don't mind if you do that, because this math, you're well beyond my class, what I am teaching in my class. And I want you to be successful in a higher level math class. Okay, next, we're going to do the examples. I'm going to show you example 1. Then I want you guys to, well, maybe I'll show you, you try it 1. Okay, so we're taking 18 divided by 6 plus 3 times 9 minus, actually we're doing 18 divided by 6 plus 3 times 9 minus 4 squared. Okay, there's a lot to do in this one. So we do 18. What we have to do is our parentheses first. So let's rewrite it. That's why I told you guys always have your notes out. We go 18 divided by, what's 6 plus 3? Well, that is 9. 18 divided by 9 times 9 minus 4 squared. Now, we have to look. Is there multiplication and division? Yes. But is there exponents? And yes, 4 squared is an exponent. So next we have to do 16, because that's what we have to do next, is the 4 squared. Then we just rewrite it all. 18 divided by 9 times 9 minus 16. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it over here because I got off a little bit. 18 divided by 9 times 9 minus 16. Now, what would we, if we did the 9 minus 16 first, that's really not a good one. So that would change everything, and we have to do order of operations. So we have to look. There's no more exponents. There's no more parentheses. So now we have to start with, the next one is multiply, divide, but we don't start with the multiply. We don't start with the multiply right here. We start with the divide, because multiply and divide are done left to right, whichever comes first. So we go 18 divided by 9 is 2, I believe. Then we take 2 times 9, because we took the divided by 8. Then we do the times, which kind of eliminates them, kind of makes it not worth much. But then we go 2 times 9, which is 18 again, and we go 18 minus 16. So we go 18 minus 16 is 2. And our answer is 2, which right there it is 2. I'm going to erase this. If you needed to, go back a little bit and pause the video. I should have told you to pause the video to begin with so that you can do this. Okay, but if you follow what they did, and they rewrote the equation every time they did an answer, and that is what my high school teachers used to tell me. Just rewrite it as you do it, because then it will make more sense. Okay, so we have 4 times 8 minus 3 divided by 5 minus 2. Okay, I'm going to first off simplify what's in the expression. So let's get rid of the parentheses. So we go 4 times, what's 8 minus 3? 8 minus 3 would be 5. So we go 4 times 5 divided by 5 minus 2. So on the next one, we're out of parentheses. We don't have any exponents. So we go multiply. And multiply and divide is just left to right. So we will do the 4 times 5, which is 20 divided by 5 minus 2. Now, we do the 20 divided by 5, because we just multiplied it by 5. Now we're dividing it by 5. So really those two eliminate each other, but it's still best to do the full operation. So we go 20 divided by 5 is 4. Now we're doing 4 minus 2 equals 2. And that would be our answer. Okay, check it yourself. Actually, just for fun, I'm going to put it into my calculator. So let's clear it. Now I'm going to put 4, then I'm going to hit parentheses. Parentheses is right above the 8. So start parentheses, 4. Some calculators you might actually have to put in the times key, but I don't think you do on this one. 4 times 8 minus 3, end parentheses, divided by 5 minus 2. Okay, so I've got that equation written in, put into my calculator. 4 times 8. Now I hit equals, and the answer is 2. We should have gotten the correct answer. Okay, so I'm going to move up, and I'm going to let you guys hit the pause button and go through this. Okay, oh, look at that. We're already down onto the chapter exercises. This wasn't a long chapter at all. Okay, so I want you guys pause it and do all of these. This says simplify. Simplify doesn't always mean you have to come up with an answer if there's no equal sign. You could do 8, we're working on number 3 right now, 8 divided by 4 plus 2. Well, you do the divided by first because it's dear. My dear Aunt Sally, and aunt comes after my. So 8 divided by 4 would be 2. 2 plus 2 would be 4. And if you want to come up with an answer, sometimes when it says simplify, it wants you to do it all. So anyway, have fun with that. Pause it and do all this. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you paused it, because otherwise you just heard me go on to the next section. Pause this and do this. Ooh. Number 15 is 6 times 3 squared plus 7. So, first off, there's no parentheses, so you don't have to worry about parentheses. There is an exponent, 3 squared. So you can put 3 times 3, or you can just hit 3, the squared button. Once you get that figured out, it is 6 times squared 3 would be 9, so it would be 6 times 9 plus 7. Well, you have to do the multiply first, so you do 6 times 9, which would be 54, plus 7, which I think would be 71. Not positive on that. I'm not going to take the time to calculate it out right now. I want to move on because it's morning and I want to be able to do stuff today. Okay, pause it and do it. Okay, you should have paused it now, so we have time to move on to page 70. Wow, you guys have done a lot of work. Okay, I've recorded these in 2 days, so hopefully you guys are taking time to do this and do this multiple times, because this is important math. This is important for getting us to a much higher level. Okay, so pause this and do all these problems. It says x minus 2y, and it tells you what x and y are. So you're doing algebra and the order of operations. So x is 8 and y is 3. So you look at it, you wouldn't minus because you have to times first. So you go 2 times y. 2 times y would be 6. So you're taking 8 minus 6, which should be 2 again. Okay, let's go on. Okay, do all this. Hit the pause button. Okay, now we're working on the chapter 1 summary now. I want you guys to do all of this. Okay, hit the pause button. You'll also hit the pause button again. Do all of this math. This is important stuff. You're dealing with place value again. You're dealing with hundreds. If you need help reading this, hey, contact me. I can help you. Okay, now we're dealing with whole numbers. Again, pause this and do all of this. By the time you guys are this high, use your calculator, okay? Okay, pause it again. Do all of this. This is... Now, some of this, I might not have covered entirely because I want you guys to be using your calculator. The prime factorization. I actually, yesterday, went in to a AI app and I designed an 8th grade level test just because I wanted to see what it did. And what it brought up for an 8th grade level standard was prime factorization. It wanted me to figure out the prime factorization of like 32. Okay, well, 32 can be broken down into, or no, it's 36, pardon. 36 can be broken down into 4 times 9. Okay, well, 4 times 9 is not prime because 4 can be broken down because 4 is not a prime number. A prime number is one that cannot be divided. 4 can be divided into 2 times 2. 2 cannot be divided any more than it is. It can be divided into 1 and 2. So you have 2 times 2, and then you break 9 down to 3 times 3. So your prime factorization would be 2 times 2, 3 times 3. Okay? So I don't find that to be that important when you guys are breaking this down into this higher level math. I see that as important maybe in the next chapter for fractions if you're not using a calculator, but I'll show you how to use a calculator. Okay, next. Pause. Hopefully you paused that, and we're going on to this one. Okay. An angle is measured in degrees, A 90, and angle is right angle. So, right triangle. Remember angles being that big into this, but a total of a triangle, I believe, is 180 degrees. You'd have 360s. Yeah. Okay. Pause this and work on this. This is just a summary of what we've been studying. Okay. Pause it and do this. Again, it's asking estimate and round. If you've caught on to what estimating and rounding is, good. But I've talked with other math teachers, and if you're using a calculator, rounding is not as important as it used to be. Not that you shouldn't learn it. I'm just trying to catch everybody up. Okay. Properties of addition. So these are your different properties, the properties of multiplication. Make sure to write these down and understand these properties because they will come up. Division properties of 0 and 1. Go over this, write it down, pause it, and read through it. Make sure that you guys understand. If you guys are having trouble understanding, let your parents know and they can contact me. Okay. This is dealing with geometric formulas. So we're dealing with perimeter. We've been studying perimeter, area, and the area of a rectangle and square. Memorize these formulas for finding this out. Okay? Because they're going to be part of, if you go into any contracting, you're going to have to know this. If you go into the military, you're going to have to know this. If somebody says, patrol the perimeter, I don't know what perimeter is. Learn it. And yes, we have it up on the classroom wall, what perimeter is. Okay, now, Chapter 1, review exercises. We got a bunch. Number 1 says graph 8 on the number line. Find 8 and put a dot above it. That's what it wants for graphing. Okay, so pause it and do all this. Okay, pause it and do all of this. This is all review. This is what we've studied this entire chapter. Pause it and do all of this. This is what we've been doing. Divide 6,234 divided by 92. I personally myself would use a calculator at this point. I could do it, and I could do it faulty too, because I'd have to divide 92 into 623 because it's not going to go into 62 anymore. It's a big number. When you get this big, use a calculator. 30. All right. You guys are dealing with Kraft's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Last thing I saw him on was one of the episodes of The Big Bang Theory. Okay, so pause it and do all the math. Okay, pause it and do this problem. This is dealing with markup price, which I do know Chapel has been dealing with this year. So that's 7th grade level math for you guys. If you guys are understanding this, and if you aren't, let me know. I can help you out. You guys have just about made it up completely through middle school. Not quite, because the next two chapters, and you're pretty much caught up. Okay, number 1, test. Do the test. Test your knowledge. See how you're doing. I hope you paused that. Now pause this. More. Pause. Do all the problems. Pause. Do all the problems. Oh, and that is the end of chapter 1. Hopefully you guys are picking this up. Use your calculator because it will do a lot of this for you. But if we never learn how to use our calculator, that's a problem. If any of you parents would like and are listening, I am thinking about doing YouTube videos over accommodations, things that make things easier for us. And accommodations are for anybody, okay? So if you guys would like, I can put some YouTube videos together over using your cell phone to read for you, using your cell phone to read for you. We can do even reading off of your screen for you. I can make sure that you guys all know how to use your accessories. So anyways, we will be going on to chapter 2 next. I'm thinking about maybe making that for next week because maybe I'll make it tomorrow because we do have the day off tomorrow. And get through chapter 2 and chapter 3. And then we start really getting into algebra. And I think by the time we finish with chapter 3, we'll be doing so much algebra that I think they'll be in pre-algebra then. So I guess this is good day, Paul Harvey. Okay, I don't know. I didn't do it as classy as he used to do it. Okay, so